Hello, my name is Gina Greco. So, when I think of dual language learners, I think of people from all different kinds of backgrounds. I do think of people from Spanish speaking areas because that is what I have interacted with the most in schools. A lot of students that I work with speak Spanish as well as English or are learning English, and a lot of teachers are dual language speakers as well. Um, so what challenges do you think that dual language learners experience? Well, seeing how basically everything is in English in American schools, at least in Connecticut where I live, it must be difficult for a child that is learning another language because not only are they trying to learn English, but they still have to understand what they are learning in school in this language that they are learning. So I'm sure it is difficult and hard for these students. Um, so what assets do you think dual language learners bring to the ECE setting? So I think they bring cultural diversity, cognitive flexibility, and unique perspectives that enrich the classroom. I think it's good to have, a diverse classroom. Everybody should be able to be familiar with everybody, no matter who they are, and get comfortable with people that are different than themselves. So I definitely think that is important, especially with children that speak two languages in the classroom. So should dual language learners be taught in their first language in English or both? So I think both because learning in both languages supports their emotional development and still keeps them connected to their roots, but they're still learning English as well. So it's connecting them to both, and especially since they're still young, kids are better at, learning languages because they're so young, their brains absorb things. Um, so I think both would improve their academic growth overall. So if I were a parent of a dual language learner, what types of supports or resources would I want for my child? So I'd want there to be bilingual teachers that could be there to support my child and be able to, communicate to them when they need to and as they are learning, English. So I'd also want there to be, consistent and strict home language communication and resources for supporting bilingual development. I would want, to be very involved with the teachers and know what is going on, the progress of my child, and how they're doing with both languages and in school. So, what are some strategies or resources I think should be presented in these settings? To support dual language learners develop early literacy skills, I think visual aids, bilingual books, interactive reading alouds in both languages, and just having posters and things around the classroom, decorations that incorporate both languages or multiple languages. It it also places a sense of welcoming and being comfortable as some students that may be familiar with different languages because of their backgrounds, they could see it and feel familiar with it and feel welcome in the classroom. So I think those would really help also develop literacy skills. In early childhood settings, should dual language learners be assessed or screened using the same assessments and screeners used with non-dual language learners? So I think no. Assessments should be adapted to consider both languages and better reflect their abilities. So again, like the question that asked if students should be taught in English or, their first language, this goes for the same thing. Both should be used on the child. They need to be able to get used to both, and it also increases their abilities in being able to recognize the language and connect each language so that they can, understand what they're learning in school. So that was my answers for the questionnaire, and thank you for watching.